Hello, my name is Luigi Pangara. I'm a graphic designer, a photographer, and sometimes I'm a filmmaker. And in this short video, I'm going to show you how to use the audio mixer in your favorite editing programs such as Premiere Pro and Final Cut, and how to use the audio mixer to edit audio for your movies. Now, this was suggested by one of my viewers, VQI channel. I hope I've got that correct. And if you've got a question, a burning question, please ask below in the comments below, and I will endeavor to make a video about it. Please feel free. So the audio mixer. Right now in my timeline, I've got a bunch of clips that I've placed in there. The audio mixer is this window right here, right next to effects control and metadata. And let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see. And you can see we've got a bunch of things. We've got these knobs, we've got these icons, and we've got these filly bits. And we've got master, 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 and it looks very confusing. When I used to do video production for television, I used to use something similar called a vision mixer. And it's pretty similar to what DJs use as well. It's just this a large piece of plastic, right? And it's got a bunch of knobs and a bunch of levers, and it's got bass and treble, and it looks confusing. It looks really, really confusing and very scary. But if you remember that the vision mixer and also the audio mixer in your editing program is divided into columns. So instead of worrying about horizontally and worrying about what all these crazy knobs and all these little switches do, think about it in columns. So, audio mixer. We've got columns. Audio 1, there's one column. Audio 2, there's another column. Audio 3, columns, right? That is the best visual way to understand the audio mixer and vision mixer. So don't look at it horizontally. No, it doesn't. These knobs don't work horizontally. They work vertically in column. Right. Get it? And then we realize that this column, audio 1, represents a single track, a single source of audio. And if we adjust our camera here, we can see audio 1 right here corresponds to this audio track here, which is the ferry, the sound of the ferry. So if I play it back, we see column 1, audio 1, is playing back, and we can see the levels in this little bit here, right here, of what the audio source is about, right? So let's say we have a music clip. This is by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, and let's drag it to audio 2. So now this column, audio 2, corresponds with this audio 2. This source here, this music track by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, corresponds with this column. Get it? And what we can do with these columns is we can give them name. So audio 1, because it's the sound of the ferry, let's call it ferry sound effects. And because audio 2 contains our music, let's call it music in capital letters. And if we click away from it, we can see that it's changed, not only in our audio mixer window here, but also in our timeline here. Let's extend that so we can see a little bit better. See, fairy sound effects and music. And just an easy way to get a handle on this. So how do we edit then? The best thing about the audio mixer, in some ways it's much more superior than using keyframes or adjusting the volume manually, such as with this yellow line, is that if we play our timeline back, we can adjust it on the fly. And this is the exact same technique that I used to use when I did vision switching for television production and what DJs use in their clubs. So in a moment, I'm going to play back the footage in my timeline, and in real time, we can adjust the sound of the music because it's going to be a lot very high. In real time, we can lower the volume of the music. So let's just extend it like that. And we won't, and we don't have to touch the timeline. We don't have to do nothing. We can do everything. We can edit audio and lower the volume of things directly within Audio Mixer. Okay, here we go. Let's play it back. And as you can see, in real time, I can lower the volume or see what I did that? In real time, as it's playing back through the timeline window, I can adjust the music and adjust the sound effects so it blends well. Typically, music is a lot lower than sound effects. About 70 to sound effects 100, if you know what I mean. So that is the beauty of Audio Mixer. We can do it in real time and we can mix it perfectly. So that's basically what these columns do. If each of them represents a different audio source, and with these little knobs here, we can change the volume in real time. Now, there are other things we can do. These knobs adjust the right and left balance of an audio track, so we can have it coming from the right speakers if we want to, and each individual knob corresponds to each individual column, like I mentioned. So let's try this. That's coming from our right speaker. And that's coming from our left speaker. And to change it back, we can simply click on the number and go to 0, and it goes back to 0. So we can also change the left and right dynamics of the video. One last thing I should mention is this little collapse button, show hide effects and sounds. So if we want to create an effect, we click on this button, show hide effects, and we've got a bunch of things right here. And if you can see, as I do on my cursor, we've got a bunch of effects. Effect 1 name, effect 2 name, effect 3 name, effect 5 name. So I could pretty much lay 5 effects down for a single video. We're not going to bother with assignments. That's a little bit difficult for now. So let's play with some effects. For this song, let's give it a flanger, and let's give it some echo. Let's go to reverb and then change some of the seconds. We can right click on the effect and let's make it into a church. Okay, maybe one more effect. Let's give it some treble. Okay, so now all 3 of these effects, flanger, reverb, treble, will only affect this column, this music column. It's not going to affect the sound effect column, it's not going to affect the other columns, just only in this column. And if we play it back, you can see how it sounds. I was about to say that it's going to sound awful, but it doesn't sound too bad. But that's just an expression on how to use the Audio Mixer to import some effects to a specific track source, a specific column. So that's it. That is the basics on how to use the Audio Mixer in your favorite editing programs. Basically, as long as you can think of it as divided into columns, it's easy to understand. All the knobs and buttons become less confusing, and it's a great tool to adjust the volume of all the tracks, like music, sound effects, people speaking. You can edit them all on the fly, and doesn't require any more processor power or any keyframes or anything like that. Very, very handy tool. I recommend to use Audio Mixer and learn to love it. Thank you so much for watching.